Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. So on today's video, we're going to be talking about how you can raise your credit score to the 700s or even 800s. So the first thing that you need to do in order to raise your credit score is check your credit report. And Experian is a great website where you can check your credit history and your credit report. So it's free to sign up, and when you sign up, you can check your credit history. So in your credit history, you have to check which loans you have. If you have credit card loans, if you have any car loans, any loans that you have to check it. And there's other two credit bureau that you can also check your score, which is Equifax and also TransUnion and also Equifax. These two also have your credit report. But the one that I use that is free to use and it's not a bad website is Experian. So the next thing that you have to do to raise your credit score is pay your credit card on time. You always have to make sure that you're paying it on time, because any late payments on your credit card is going to affect negatively your score. So the first thing that you want to do to raise your score is pay off any credit cards that you might have. So one of the first things that you have to do to raise your credit score is pay off your credit card. If you owe a lot of money and you have many different credit cards, the best thing is to start paying them off one by one. Pay them off. That is the quickest way that you can raise your credit score. My credit score was 600 and something, like 630 or 640. And as soon as I paid off my credit card, it automatically went up to 700. So that's one of the first things that you have to do is pay off your credit card. And if you cannot pay the entire credit card, then make sure that you maintain 10% or lower. And another good thing is pay off any other loans that you might have, any other debts that you might have. When you pay off any other loans or any other debts, your credit score will also go up. And another thing is opening too many credit cards can lower your credit score. So the fewer credit cards that you have, the better, because it shows that you're responsible with 1 or 2 or 3 cards, or some people even have 5. But having too many is gonna affect your credit score. So it's not a good idea to have a lot of credit cards. And the ones that you do have, make sure that you're paying them off every month and that you only are paying them off 10% or lower. So yes, the best thing to do is always use your credit card. Only use 10% of the credit card or lower. Don't use more than that, because they say that the lower percentage that you use, the better. And this is what Google says. It says that most credit experts advise keeping your credit utilization below 30%, especially if you want to maintain a good credit score. This means if you have 10,000 in available credit, your outstanding balances should never exceed 3,000. They say, Google says 30%, but if you want an excellent credit score, I suggest that it should be 10%. If you really want to reach the high 700s or 800s, that's the advice, 10% or lower. And another thing that I want to talk about is the collections. If you have any collections in your credit report, even if you pay them off, the collections, they still stay on your report. So it is best if you can get the collections removed. And how can you get them removed? You can send a letter to each credit bureau explaining the situation of the collections. You have to send a letter to Experian, Equifax, and also to TransUnion. You have to send a letter to each one of them explaining the situation about every collection and explaining to them that you want it removed. So this is a good idea if you really want a high credit score. And another great idea is to keep your job. If you want to pay off your loan, if you want to pay off your debt, it's going to take a few months, a few weeks for you to pay off your credit card loans, your credit card debt. It's going to take a few weeks. It's not overnight. But if you want to have an excellent score so you can buy a house for your goals, for anything, it's good to have a good score. So if you leave your job without having another job secure, what happens then? The person gets into more debt again, and then they're not going to be able to pay for their debt. So it's best to keep your job if you want to pay off your debt. And in case if you want to buy a house, it's also they want a good job record of you so you can buy a house. And in case you want to buy a house in the future, they require at least 2 years of employment history. 2 years of employment history to be approved for a home loan. However, mortgage lenders will look at these compensating factors when making their approval decision. A healthy credit score, and they also want a low debt to income ratio. So if you have a really expensive car that you're paying and the loan is really expensive, then you're probably not going to get approved a lot for a mortgage. So it's best to pay off the most money that you can before you get into buying a house. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below. Until next time, bye bye.